I saw you turn off the living room light last night and stand there in silence, feeling the weight of a weariness that sleep couldn't quell. I was there when the lump in your throat tightened and you didn't let the tear fall because you needed to be strong for others, even though you felt like you were crumbling inside. Know that at this very moment, divine love stopped time to find you, because I heard the cry you didn't utter. If you've made it this far, it's because your heart cried out for help and I answered. Many look at your smile and think everything is all right, but I see the throbbing wound when the lights go out. You wonder if there's a limit to how much you can endure or if joy has become just a distant memory. Today, I will show you that God will heal what still hurts in your soul, in a way that no human medicine has ever been able to achieve. Just like the woman who suffered for 12 years and spent everything she had without finding a solution, you too felt your strength was exhausted. But today, the journey we begin in this video isn't about religion. It's about a profound healing encounter that will touch the most hidden layers of your being. If this word of God is already reaching the depths of your soul, speak to me now. Tell me your name, where in this world you're listening from, and what time the clock shows right now. I want you to let your heart overflow below and write with all your faith. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and my soul thirsts to hear you. Make this your first step towards liberation, for I have a clear answer reserved for the end of this encounter, and a powerful phrase will be whispered to your spirit if you remain with me until the very last second. I know every detail of your story. I saw when your hands trembled as you held that phone, waiting for a message that never came, or when the silence of your kitchen seemed to scream louder than any noise. That emptiness you feel when you look around and don't find the support you expected is the place where I want to dwell now. Sometimes you feel like the sky is made of bronze and your prayers don't reach the ceiling, but the truth is, I am closer to you now than the air you breathe. What to others is trivial or outdated, to me is something precious that needs care. I didn't call you to carry heavy burdens, but to walk in the lightness of my presence. For it is written in Psalm 34, verse 18, "The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Do you understand what this means? It means that my specialty is putting together the pieces the world has broken. That early morning when you cried softly so as not to wake anyone, I was collecting every drop that fell on your pillow. I saw the pain of that disappointment you tried to bury, but which still returns like a ghost on rainy days. I am here to tell you that you no longer need to pretend. Let your defenses fall. Feel the warmth of my embrace enveloping your shoulders now, removing the tension and fear of what tomorrow will bring. This is only the beginning of the restoration I have prepared for you, but there is still something profound I need to reveal to you about why this pain has lasted so long. If you feel my presence enveloping you, tap the sign that you accept this affection and like this message. What would you say to me now? If you could look me in the eyes for just 1 minute, write in the comments a single word that defines what your soul most needs to receive today. My refuge. But don't rush to leave, because what I will show you next is something your eyes have not yet seen about the invisible marks you carry. You know that pain that makes you take a deep breath, but the air doesn't seem to reach the end. That anguish that visits you when the day ends and you sit on the edge of the bed, staring into the void. I know the name of this pain that doctors can't label. Many say it's just stress, others say it's the weight of age. But I know it's the weariness of a soul that has carried burdens that weren't its own for too long. I saw when you sought answers in tests, hoping a piece of paper would explain why your chest aches so much, but the machines can't read what's written in your spirit. I see the deep weariness in your eyes when you remove your makeup at the end of the day and look at your reflection in the mirror. The glass shows the marks of time, but I see the scars of the battles you won in secret, with no one to applaud you. Sometimes, the cold of dawn seeps in through the crack in the window, and you curl up under the blanket, feeling a chill that doesn't come from the wind, but from a loneliness that seems to have taken root. I was there when you held back tears so as not to worry your children, or when you locked yourself in the bathroom and let the tap water run to muffle the sound of your outburst. Human medicine treats what is visible, but I am the specialist in what is hidden from the eyes of men. For it is written in the book of Psalms, number 147, in verse number 3, "He heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds. Notice that I don't just observe your wound, I approach to treat it personally. I am not a God who watches your suffering from a safe distance. I am the Father who bends down to apply the balm exactly where it burns most. Do you know that disappointment from 10 or 20 years ago that you tell everyone you've overcome? But that still makes you freeze when someone mentions that person's name. I am touching it now with the gentleness that only the Creator possesses to remove the poison that the world has left in you. At this moment, I want you to visualize my hands on your chest, untying that blind knot that prevents you from breathing freely. You no longer need to carry the world on your shoulders, my daughter. I did not create you to be an unbreakable fortress 24 hours a day. The healing I bring begins from the inside out, clearing the dark corridors of your mind and illuminating the rooms you have locked for fear of being hurt again. Perhaps you've become accustomed to this pain, believing it's part of your personality. But I tell you today, pain is merely a season you're going through. It's not your definitive identity. If you feel this word is illuminating a place that was in darkness within you, take this light to another soul who also walks in the shadows. Send this message to someone you know who cries in secret, and tell me with the sincerity of one who trusts in a Father, what do you feel that no one else can see, but that you desperately need me to heal now? Let that cry out from within you, and write this affirmation of hope in the comments, my healing. But pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because although I know every detail of your pain, there's something you've been doing to hide it that's blocking the full flow of my miracle. You still try to convince everyone, and even yourself, that you're made of iron and that nothing can affect you. What would happen if for a moment you let your guard down? In our next conversation, I will show you the danger of the mask you have been using to protect yourself. Often the mask you wear to appear strong is precisely what prevents my balm from touching the wound that is still open. You hide behind an automatic, I'm fine, while your spirit pleads for a rest that the world does not know. As I begin to remove these defenses with my fatherly hand, I feel a silent gratitude sprouting within you, like a seed ready to be planted in fertile soil. If your heart feels this calling now, and only if it is possible for you without causing you any discomfort, transform this gratitude into a living seed of affection for this channel that carries my voice to the world. Consider the eternal love that I and my son Jesus pour out upon your life every day, and if you wish, contribute through the link I left in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. There is the soil where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. Know that you can participate with any amount your heart indicates right now. Don't worry about exact amounts. If you want to give a different amount than usual, just follow the voice that speaks peacefully within you. Always remember, what I receive with joy is what fits within your peace. What matters to me will never be the number, but the intention and faith that accompany your gesture, because what may seem small to you becomes a powerful provision in the hands of the one who receives it, and a treasure kept in heaven. Whoever decides to sow with a sincere heart, I ask that you record your name and the city you are from, because on the first day of next month, we will have a unique meeting here on our Divine Love channel, the Voice of God. I will make sure your name is mentioned with deep gratitude, and I will cover your life with prophetic blessings released in prayer. For it is written in my word, in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, each one should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for the Lord loves a cheerful giver. Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your God, and none of them will fail to bear fruit. I see in secret, and I will reward you in the sight of all. Remain with me until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. I saw the exact moment you stopped before the mirror this morning. I saw the superhuman effort you made to stretch your face into a smile that didn't reach your eyes. You adjusted your hair, took a deep breath, and told yourself that today you would be strong. But inside, my daughter, what I saw was shattered glass, a soul bleeding silently while you chose the clothes that best hid your fragility. The world demands a perfection from you that I never asked for. They want your strength, your performance, your usefulness, but I only want you. You know that tightness in your chest that comes when someone asks if you're okay, and you answer that everything is great, with an almost desperate rush to change the subject. "This social lie is too heavy a burden for your shoulders. I saw you sitting on the bus, looking out the window and feeling that if someone touched your heart right now, you would crumble into 1,000 pieces. You're afraid that if you stop pretending, people will distance themselves, or that no one will be able to bear the weight of your sadness. But I can bear it. I am the only one who is not scandalized by your chaos and who never tires of listening to your pain. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 17, "The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise." Understand well what I am telling you. What the world despises, which is your weakness, is exactly what I value most to begin my work. I am not looking for your flawless version, your rehearsed prayer, or your unwavering praise. I am looking for your heart as it is now, crushed, tired, and thirsty for truth. When you enter your room and lock the door, the charade ends. There, in that heavy silence, where only the sound of your own breath can be heard, I am waiting for you. Not to reprimand you for not having accomplished everything, but to remove this armor that is suffocating you and hurting your skin. Let the tears wash your face. Let the weariness run down your legs to the cold floor. It is in this state of total surrender, without masks and without filters, that my healing truly penetrates the living flesh of your soul. You don't need to be strong to be loved by me. You only need to be mine. Feel now the relief of knowing that I know you completely, and yet I choose you every day with an unchanging love. If this freedom to be who you are before me has touched your soul, show that you are ready to set aside appearances and walk in truth. Feel embraced by this community of faith and register, so that my voice may reach you every day. What are you most afraid to show people? But that today you completely surrender into my hands for me to take care of. Let your heart speak in the comments with this surrender. I surrender. But listen carefully, for while you lay down your weapons, I am preparing a path of constant companionship so that you will never again feel lost in those silent dawns. There is something I have prepared especially to be your guide in each new sunrise that will come. At this moment, as the weight of that heavy armor finally falls to the ground, I want to offer you something for the days when the sun seems slow to rise. Complete healing is a journey, my daughter, and I do not wish you to walk alone in the dawns when the cold of uncertainty tightens your chest and the weariness in your eyes seems endless. Sometimes the silence of the empty house is so heavy that it suffocates, and it is precisely in that moment of solitude that my voice desires to be your closest companion, acting as a daily remedy for the pains you hide from the world. If your heart feels the desire to delve even deeper into my presence, know that I have prepared a special gift in the form of a journey, something I wrote with all my love and affection for each of my chosen sons and daughters. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to be your balm in each new dawn, bringing the direction your soul so desperately seeks. The path to this intimate encounter is below, in the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And listen carefully to what your Father tells you now. If today is not the right time or is not possible for you, do not allow guilt or burden to overwhelm you. Just remain here with me, for I will continue to embrace and strengthen you through this message until the end. For it is written in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23, "The Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning." I want your heart to rest and for there to be no doubt in your mind. As soon as you register to receive this daily care, access will arrive clearly, with all the correct instructions and the necessary step-by-step guide, directly to the email address you registered. Everything has been prepared simply, so that your only task is to open your soul to hear me. This devotional is my whisper of hope to heal what still hurts. Now take a deep breath, feel the peace invading your being and trust, for I will not let go of your hand. But I haven't yet shown you all that my touch can do to those memories you think time should have erased. They told you that time heals everything, didn't they? That the days would pass, and as if by magic, that disappointment would wither until it disappeared. But you know deep down in your soul that time by itself is a mute that consoles no one. It only throws layers of dust over the wound, hiding the infection that continues to throb underneath. I saw when you counted the months, then the years, and realized with a start that the pain of that betrayal or that loss is still as alive as on the first day. Time has no hands to suture. It only has silence to stifle the scream you still want to let out. I saw you rummaging through that drawer you've avoided opening for 5 years. I saw the smell of mold and longing that rose when you touched that piece of clothing or that yellowed paper. Your eyes instantly filled with tears, and your heart gave that awkward leap as if the trauma had happened only 5 minutes ago. The truth, my daughter, is that time is just a waiting room. I am the one who heals. I am the physician who doesn't use anesthesia to drug you, but who uses love to restore you. Sometimes I need to touch exactly the point you protect with so much fear, so that the pus of resentment may flow out and my kingdom may enter. For it is written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17, "For I will restore health to you, and your wounds I will heal, declares the Lord." Note that I did not promise that the clock would do the work. I said that I would. I am the one who enters the labyrinth of your memories, there where you are lost and where your joy is imprisoned, to take you by the hand. You know that date on the calendar that as it approaches makes your stomach churn and your mood change inexplicably. I am upon that date now, changing its meaning from day of pain to day of divine intervention. Stop waiting for the passing of the seasons to solve what only the Creator of the seasons can transform. You have been trying to be your own doctor, applying bandages of distraction and remedies of overoccupation. But when night falls and the noise of the world silences, the wound burns again. Let me be the surgeon of your spirit. I am not in a hurry, but I am precise. I will remove every splinter of bitterness that remained embedded when you were wounded by the one who should have protected you. The restoration I bring leaves no ugly scars. It leaves testimonies of glory. Breathe now. Feel the air going in and out and realize that, although time has passed, I have remained here, waiting for you to admit that you cannot heal yourself alone. If you accept that I touched today that wound you swore no one else would see, share this message with a friend who is also trapped in the past. Show that divine love has come to set her free. What has time tried to erase but still burns within you like a blazing brazier? Write it here in the comments. As a final act of surrender to the great physician, restore me. But don't close your eyes yet, for the healing I have begun to perform now will reach an area you consider your greatest weakness. I'm going to show you how I deal with the pain of that rejection that tried to define who you were your whole life. At this moment in our conversation, I want to touch on a place you've locked away, the pain of being left behind. I saw when that door closed and the sound of the latch echoed in your chest like a gunshot. I saw when you dressed with your best care, prepared your best smile, but the person you most wanted to notice passed by you as if you were invisible. Rejection is a wound that doesn't bleed outwardly. It bleeds inwardly, souring the image you have of yourself. You spent years trying to understand what was wrong with you, what you were missing, why others were chosen, and you were just plan B, the second option, or the backup for times of need. I was there at that dinner where you felt like an outsider, even surrounded by people. I felt the chill that ran down your spine when you realized you were no longer welcome in that circle you so cherished. Rejection whispered in your ear that you are not good enough, that you are too old, or that your time to be loved has passed. But I, the Creator of the stars, am here to refute each of those evil voices. You were not rejected. You were freed from places where your light could not shine. What you call abandonment, I call space for my embrace. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 4, "Since you were precious in my sight, you were honored, and I loved you. Therefore I gave men in exchange for you, and peoples in exchange for your life." Listen well, you are precious in my eyes, not because you do everything right or because you are perfect, but because you are mine. I did not choose you by competition. I chose you out of love. Even before you were born, I had already stamped your heart with the seal of my approval. Men may disregard you, but I crown you with the dignity of a princess of the kingdom. Feel now the balm of my love washing away the dirt that rejection has thrown upon you. I am removing that label of not chosen that they stuck to your forehead. Look at me. See the gleam of pride in my eyes when I look at you. You are my greatest project. I don't make mistakes with my brushstrokes and I don't waste lives. That person who despised you didn't have eyes to see the treasure I hid within you, but I see it, and I value every detail of your soul. From today on, you will no longer beg for attention, because the attention of the King of the universe is focused on you 24 hours a day. If your heart now feels the warmth of acceptance that only heaven can give, feel free to let go of neediness and embrace fullness. Let this message reach those women you know who are constantly trying to please everyone to feel accepted. Show them that divine love is enough. And now, as a cry of freedom from your restored identity, write in the comments what you are to me. I am chosen. But don't settle into this comfort yet, because I have a plan of exchange that goes beyond simply accepting you. I will take everything that remains destroyed in your life, every piece of coal and every ash of a burnt dream, and I will transform it into something that will leave the world astonished. Are you ready to exchange your grief for the beauty that only my glory produces? At this moment, I want you to stop looking at the ground. I see what's left, the dust, the wreckage, and the dark mark of what was once a fire that warmed you. But now only the cold of what has gone out remains. Perhaps you feel it's too late to rebuild, that age has advanced, and that the beauty of a full life has been lost in some old photograph that you no longer have the courage to take out of the drawer. I see the dirt of ashes on your fingers, the remnants of a failed project, a home silenced by darkness or health that seems to have given out halfway through. Anguish, my daughter, has become like a heavy, dark garment you've grown accustomed to wearing every morning, a cloak of mourning for versions of yourself you believe have died forever. But I am the God who walks upon the rubble without fear of getting dirty. I do not shy away from your ashes. I take them in my hands to transform them into something new. Feel the freshness of my breath now, blowing away the grey dust that has blurred your vision and prevented you from seeing the horizon I have drawn for your future. I'm lifting the weight of this chronic sadness from your shoulders and giving you a lightness you haven't felt in decades. Where there was desolation and barren earth, I am planting a new garden with colors that your weary eyes cannot yet fully grasp, but that your spirit is already beginning to sense in the warmth that now fills your heart. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3. To all who mourn in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Perceive the movement of my hands acting in your story now. I remove the crown of thorns and worries that you yourself placed upon your head and place my crown of grace and favor upon you. I pour upon you the oil of joy, the one that makes the face shine and the soul sing even when the world around is still silent. The divine exchange is not a simple reform. It is a complete resurrection. I am not merely gluing together the pieces of what broke. I am forging an entirely new work from what you thought was the end. The beauty I give you today does not depend on external circumstances or human approval. It is a light that is born from within, a serenity that blossoms from the certainty that the fire that tested you was not allowed to consume you, but only to purify the gold I hid within you. You will look at yourself in the mirror again, and instead of lamenting what you lost, you will begin to see the honored and renewed woman I raised from the dust. If you feel that your spirit of anguish is being replaced by new praise at this very second, let my oil of joy flow through the cracks of your heart. If this promise of renewal has found a place in your soul, cherish this message as one who seals a commitment of hope with heaven. Share this balm with someone you know who still lives under cold, forgotten ashes. Let me know now. What part of your life are you surrendering to me in exchange for this eternal beauty? Write in the comments this prophetic truth that seals your new time. Divine beauty. But don't close your eyes to what comes next, for the healing I work in the ashes will now reach a secret room where bitterness tried to take deep root. I will take you to the place of your greatest romantic disappointments to show you that the author of life still has blank pages, written with my own hand for your heart. I was by your side on each of those nights when the pillow felt like a stone, and the empty side of the bed screamed an absence you couldn't fill. I saw when you reread those old messages, trying to find the exact moment when everything changed, when affection turned to indifference and the promise transformed into silence. Romantic disappointment is not just a goodbye, it's a theft of hope. You felt as if someone had stolen your ability to believe, leaving in its place a coldness that not even the hottest midday sun can dispel. I saw when you looked at your hands and wondered if the problem was you. I saw the weight that settled on your shoulders each time you learned of someone who found happiness while you remained there, guarding a love that no one seemed to want to receive. Sometimes the sound of the rain outside seems to match the rhythm of a heart that has grown tired of waiting. You closed yourself off, built high walls, and swore you would never again allow anyone to get close enough to hurt you again. But what you built to protect yourself ended up becoming your own prison of loneliness, for it is written in the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 26, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." I don't want you to live with a heart hardened by fear of what others might do. I am here to soften that armor that resentment has forged. I am the love that does not disappoint, the faithfulness that does not fail, and the presence that never says goodbye. I am cleansing the marks left by hands that did not know how to care for you, so that you may once again feel the sweetness of a life shared in my light. Hope is not a youthful illusion, my daughter. It is a promise of my kingdom. I still have the power to restore the years that the plagues of lovelessness have consumed. I know the desires you no longer dare to pray for, those you buried deep so as not to suffer anymore. I am breathing life into those dead dreams now. Where there was betrayal, I bring loyalty. Where there was abandonment, I bring acceptance. Where your heart felt like a dry desert, I am causing springs of living water to gush forth. Do not give up on love, because I, the author of love, have not given up on you. Feel the peace of knowing that your future is not a prisoner of your past. If you feel that my faithfulness is healing the pain of disappointment now, let that hope overflow. Share this word with someone who has given up believing in happiness, and tell me from the depths of this soul that I am renewing, will you allow me to be the new guardian of your heart today? Write in the comments with the courage of someone who dreams again. New heart. But pay attention, because what I'm about to show you is the secret to making this healing permanent. There's a door that needs to be opened, and the key lies in your own vulnerability before my glory. We have now arrived at the place where my miracle meets your truth. I saw when you finally relaxed your shoulders today and let your head droop, exhausted from carrying the shield of self-sufficiency for so long. You spent years believing that, for me to bless you, you needed to be standing flawless, with all the answers at your fingertips and no cracks in your armor. But the truth that heaven reveals to you at this moment is that my glory does not enter through your fortresses, it enters through your cracks. I do not seek your strength, because strength is what separates you from me, making you believe that you can govern your own destiny. I seek your vulnerability, that moment when you admit in a choked whisper that you can no longer take another step alone. I was there when you sat on the bedroom floor, leaning against the side of the bed, and felt the cold of the floor rising up your legs, while the weight of the silence in the room seemed to crush your chest. In that second, when you stopped fighting the reality of your pain and simply let weariness overcome you, that's when I found the open door I had been searching for. The weariness in your eyes doesn't push me away, it draws me in. Your empty hands are the only place where I can deposit the new things I have prepared. While you tried to be the pillar of your home, your work, and your family, you didn't give me space to be your sustenance. But now that your defenses have fallen and your tears are raw and unfiltered, my light can finally illuminate the darkest corners of your story. For it is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9. And he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. Understand the depth of this mystery. My power doesn't wait for you to recover to act. He needs your weakness to manifest himself in his full power. It is in your "I can't take it anymore" that my "I can do all things" begins to operate. What you tried to hide out of shame is, in fact, the exact point where I will sign your liberation. Do not be afraid to feel small before me, for it is in your smallness that my greatness envelops you and makes you unshakable. Feel now the warmth of my presence filling every gap that pain has left, Where there was a throbbing emptiness, I am pouring out my peace which surpasses all human understanding. Where there was the fear of being judged, I place the security of being fully known and deeply loved. You no longer need to spend energy trying to prove anything to anyone, not even to me. The door to the miracle is wide open now, and all you need to do is remain so, surrendered, allowing my fatherly hands to remake what the world tried to destroy. The ultimate healing is not for the strong who pretend, but for the weary who surrender. If you feel my glory flooding your being through your own surrender, let that river of life flow unimpeded. If this word of revelation has brought the relief your soul sought, like this video as a sign that you accept my power in your weakness. And tell me, with the sincerity of one who has nothing left to hide, what are you letting go of today so that I can hold it in mine? Write in the comments with the peace of one who has found rest. I open myself, but do not withdraw from my presence now, for what I have saved for the end of this encounter is the golden key that will seal everything we have discussed so far. There is a phrase, a spiritual secret that I mentioned at the beginning, that I will whisper to your heart right now so that you never forget who strengthens you. Now that the silence of this journey envelops your being, I want you to breathe deeply and feel the weight that has been left behind. I saw the moment your soul opened, when the layers of pain you accumulated for so many years began to dissolve under the warmth of my gaze. This was not just a message that crossed your path by chance. It was an encounter arranged in the stars, an instant of eternity where the Creator bent down to heal what the world wounded. Those memories that throbbed in the stillness of the night and that emptiness that seemed endless are now being filled by my fullness. You do not leave this moment as you entered. You leave restored, clothed in a strength that does not come from your muscles, but from my spirit that dwells within you. Remember that I promised at the beginning that I would deliver a clear answer to your heart, a spiritual key capable of opening the doors that anguish locked. This truth was kept for this exact second, so that it would become the seal of your liberation. Listen to my whisper now, penetrating the depths of your spirit and echoing through every cell of your body, revealing the secret of those who have learned to rest in me. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is not just an old phrase. It is your new reality. I want you to take possession of this promise right now. Make this teaching your shield against rainy days and your light in the dawns of doubt. As an act of faith, of surrender, and of response to heaven, write here in the comments with all the authority of a beloved daughter, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. By typing these words, you are declaring to the spiritual world that pain no longer defines you, and that the great physician has already signed your discharge papers. Remain connected to me, for my dialogue with you never ends. I still have much to reveal to your ears and secrets that only the silence of my presence can translate. If your heart is still thirsty, delve into the other words I have prepared for you in our list of sacred encounters here on the channel, where each video is a new step on your path of restoration. I will be waiting for you in each one, for my love for you is renewed with each sunrise, and my voice will always find a way to guide you back home. Where there was the thorn of bitterness, I now plant the seed of my forgiveness. Where weariness paralyzed you, I breathe the breath of my resurrection. Walk in peace, my daughter, for your healing is my greatest celebration.